Subrata Roy has filed a plea in the Supreme Court against the arrest warrant that the Supreme Court issued against him. Ashwin Mohan, who's been tracking that story closely, joins us live with more details. Ashwin, what does this mean? Where does this take Subrata Roy? Does it take him to safety at all? What are the proceedings likely to going forward?
Well, Krishna, clearly the time was ticking for Subrata Roy and his legal team, and clearly with this particular development, it's clear that his legal team is in damage control mode. What we understand from top-level legal sources is that Subrata Roy has filed an urgent plea at the Supreme Court, and that plea, I understand, is to basically try and convince the Supreme Court to recall or withdraw that non-bailable arrest warrant that was issued against Roy yesterday because of his failure to appear or make a personal appearance at 2 p.m. as was directed by the earlier Supreme Court order. The Supreme Court was clearly upset with the absence of Roy. They did not buy the logic given by Roy's legal team that he had to be by the side of his mother because of a critical medical illness. They felt that this was not in compliance with the earlier order and had in fact issued the non-bailable warrant. So since yesterday, there have been a lot of murmurs and whispers about whether or not the Lucknow police would indeed go ahead, bite the bait and arrest Subrata Roy. But clearly this is a plea which is trying to evade that, and that is why this plea has been filed at the Supreme Court to make a request to somehow try and convince the Supreme Court bench at the 11th hour to recall that arrest warrant. In fact, that's not all. We understand that this urgent plea also seeks a stay on the operation of the entire order that was passed yesterday till this plea is in fact heard. Of course, we'll have to wait and watch to see whether the Supreme Court entertains this plea or not in the first place. Other than the fact that he wants the arrest warrant to be recalled or withdrawn, we also understand that this plea that has been filed at the Supreme Court contains an unconditional apology that has in fact been communicated by Subrata Roy to the Supreme Court bench. So clearly now Subrata Roy's legal team is in damage control mode. The time is ticking because 4th March is when he was supposed to be arrested and produced in court. And of course all eyes will be on the Supreme Court tomorrow because this case has just been filed a few minutes back. And of course we'll have to wait and watch to see how early Subrata Roy's legal team moves the Supreme Court officially tomorrow in the morning, Krishna.